This video is about finding the area of a sector, the area of these shaded regions called sectors. Well, let's start off with talking about the area of an entire circle. Okay, for a circle, area is pi r squared. Burn that into your brain. We're going to need that 10 times. Now, when you talk about the area of a sector, I find it best to think of it as a fraction of the area. In fact, I think I will zoom in and just write that sentence down. Okay, the sector area, the area of a sector, I'm going to use just the letter A to represent the area of a sector. That's always going to be a fraction of the circle area. Okay, which makes sense. Alright, because a sector is a fraction of the circle. So, of course, the sector area is going to be some fraction of the total area. So, how can I take that and translate it into a formula? Well, here goes. So the area is going to equal some fraction. Where does the fraction come from? Well, it's going to be the central angle divided by 360. Alright, that'll tell us what portion of the circle we're dealing with. And then this fraction of the whole area, or times the whole area, and we just said the whole area is pi r squared. So it'll be this fraction times pi r squared. Alright, so hopefully that'll help you remember the formula for area. Just think it's some fraction of the whole area. So theta over 360 times pi r squared. Okay, so we'll use that again and again. So we're given the radius, which is 12 inches, and we're given the central angle, which is the same as the arc measure. Alright, we're given theta, which is 288 degrees. And we're supposed to find the area of the shaded sector. So let's start by writing down the formula. Well, I guess I won't write it down because it's right here. Okay, so we're supposed to find the area. Alright, the area of the sector, which we'll call A. Now, theta is 288 degrees, so that'll be 288 over 360 times. Okay, and then we have pi r squared. So that's pi, the radius is 12, so that's pi 12 squared. Okay, I like to reduce this if I can. Well, you know what? Maybe I won't. Okay, round to 2 decimal places. Because all I want is the area, I think I will just type this entire thing into my calculator right now. Alright, that's probably going to be the easiest thing to do. So 288 out of 360 times pi 12 squared. Boom. Alright, well, they went ahead and gave me the exact answer. That's nice. Maybe I'll write that down just for fun. 576 pi over 5. By the way, the units, they're talking inches. So since this is area, we will say inches squared. Now that will be approximately equal to, let's toggle it out, 361.91. Okay, so that is the answer to problem number 1. This problem is just like the last one, so I encourage you to pause the video and try to do this problem by yourself. Alright, so let's basically start by writing down the formula itself. We're supposed to find the area of the shaded sector. So here's the formula for finding the area of the shaded sector. We think of it as some fraction of the whole area. So the fraction is theta over 360, and then the whole area is pi r squared. But we have all of this information. So the sector area should equal theta is 139 degrees. That's the arc measure, which would be the same thing as the measure of the central angle. Okay, both of these are 139 degrees. Anyway, so it's going to be 139 degrees over 360, okay, times pi r squared. Well, the radius is 36.2, so that'll be 36.2 squared. Now, I really can just put all of this in my calculator. There's nothing stopping me. Alright, so maybe I will throw my calculator over here. Okay, let's see how it goes. So I need to do 139 out of 360. And this is going to be times pi 36.2 squared. And that's it, 1589.57. Alright, what are the units? The units are feet. So since we're talking area, this will be square feet. Alright, feet squared. Okay, so that is the answer for problem number 2. Okay, this problem involves the shaded area, but we are actually being asked to find the measure of arc AB in degrees. So that tells you right away that we're being asked to find theta. Alright, that's the variable we are looking for. Let's start by writing down the formula again. Alright, so the formula says that the area of a sector is some fraction of the full area. Alright, the circle area. So that is the formula right here. Now, how much of this do we already know? Okay, the area of the shaded sector is 15.6 square inches. Okay, so they gave us A. So the sector area is 15.6 inches squared. We're looking for theta, so we know we don't have that, so I'll just leave it as theta over 360. Okay, times pi r squared. Well, we know the radius is 4, so that'll be pi 4 squared. So this time I just can't put the entire thing in my calculator. I have to actually solve this out. So let me take it step by step. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to do two things at once right now. I don't like having fractions in the problem, so to make this fraction go away, the best thing to do is to multiply it by 360 on both sides of the equation. Okay, if I multiply by 360, these will cancel each other out. Okay, and that's going to give me whatever this is, so 15.6 times 360. Okay, so that's 5,616. So I've got 5,616 is equal to theta times, now instead of writing pi 4 squared is 16, so I'm going to go ahead and put 16 pi. Alright, pi times 4 squared, that's 16 pi. Now we're trying to find theta, so your next move should be to divide both sides by 16 pi to get theta by itself. 16 pi. Alright, so these are going to cancel out, and this is basically going to give you the answer right now. Alright, because theta will be by itself at this point. So theta equals, just put all this in your calculator. I would recommend setting this up as a fraction using the n over d button. So 5,616 divided by 16 pi, like that. Okay, 111.73, got to round up. Okay, and this is inches. Actually, that's not relevant because theta, this is in degrees, like it says. So I'll just put degrees. So this is the final answer. Okay, let me just mention one common mistake that I often see. When you put 5,616 divided by 16 pi in your calculator, I like to do this fraction mode like I showed you. But some students prefer to do 5,616 divided by 16 pi. So be careful because look, this is the wrong answer. Okay, we already saw that the answer should be 111.73, yet right now we are getting, right now we are getting 1,102.70. The reason is, if you're going to do it this way, you have to put the 16 pi in parentheses. Right now the calculator is dividing by 16, not 16 pi. It's only dividing by 16, and then it's multiplying by pi. It is blindly doing the order of operations. So if you want to actually divide by 16 pi, you can either make it a fraction like I did, or you can use parentheses like this, divided by 16 pi. Okay, and then that will give you the answer you're supposed to get. Alright, so that was problem number 3. Problem number 4. The radius of the circle is 14 meters, boom, and the area of the shaded sector is 376 square meters. Find the measure of arc ACB in degrees. So we're looking for the arc measure, so that is theta that we are looking for. Alright, we're looking for theta. Okay, we're still dealing with the sector area, so let's start by writing down the formula again. The sector area, alright, that's the shaded part here, is always going to be some fraction of the full area. Okay, the fraction is theta over 360, and the full area of the circle is pi r squared. So that's the formula. Now, we're looking for theta. That means we must have the sector area and the radius given. Well, they told us that the sector area is 376 square meters. So that is going to go in right here. Okay, so I'm going to have 376 is equal to theta over 360. Okay, times pi r squared. Well, the radius is 14, so that's pi 14 squared. Alright, so we need to solve this for theta somehow. How am I going to do that? Let's multiply, whoa, too big. Okay, let me use a smaller ink. Let's multiply both sides of the equation by 360. Alright, that way these 360s will cancel each other out. Let's find out what 360 times 376 is. 13,000, sorry, 135,360. And that's going to equal to theta times. Now, 14 squared is 196. So I'm going to go ahead and write this part as 196 pi. Okay, let me just double check. Sometimes my brain malfunctions. Okay, in fact, while I'm double checking stuff, let me double check that other thing. Okay, 135,360. Okay, so to get theta by itself, it is time to divide both sides by 196 pi. Okay, that will get theta all alone. And really, that should give us the final answer. Okay, the ink is too big. I reach for the wrong brush very often. Okay, so I'm just going to put all of this in my calculator. Okay, I'm trying to clear this out, but it's not working out very well. Okay, so I'm going to do 135,360 over 196 pi. So that is 219.83. degrees. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.